Tonight, the new patriotic parties are alleging a ploy by the governing NDC to use national security to disrupt Saturday's elections. We will interrogate this claim and speak to the party for the latest. Plus, all you need to know about tomorrow's presidential primaries right here on Top Story. Top Story, as always, is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies and holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. My name is Fostina Sarfo. Please stay for details. Thanks for choosing us. Tonight, the new patriotic party is alleging that the governing National Democratic Congress, NDC, is planning to use national security agencies to disrupt Saturday's elections. The NPP claims the NDC is recruiting thugs known as Eagle Force to create chaos at polling stations, particularly in NPP strongholds. They've also accused the NDC of planning to use ambulances to transport weapons and deploy thugs on motorbikes to shoot indiscriminately and suppress voter turnout. The NPP has called on the Inspector General of Police to arrest those involved and urge security agencies to prevent any acts of violence or vigilantism. Let's listen to the NPP National Organizer, Henry Nanabuachi, speaking earlier on Joe News.
I can confirm that all the materials are on its way, the various regions, the various constituencies, and the voting centers as well. For purposes of security, Ghana Police is safeguarding all the electoral materials to the various destinations.
Right. In terms of candidates, has any of them brought up issues that are yet to be resolved? And what is the level of coordination between the party and the candidates?
Yes, with a lot of delight, I would say that all the presidential aspirants so far, they have displayed a lot of confidence, satisfaction regarding the work and operations of the Presidential Elections Committee. Indeed, we've had 3 or 4 stakeholders meetings with them, and in all these meetings, they have confirmed that indeed they have a lot of confidence in the work the Presidential Elections Committee is doing. We are hoping that tomorrow will mark the end of this work, or maybe after, because there will be some issues afterwards they will have to deal with it. But so far, so good. We are happy. With the party leadership, we are satisfied because what we promised was free, fair, transparent, peaceful, incredible elections. And so far, we are pleased to announce that we are on our way to achieve this feat.
Right, and just before you go, you raised issues about national security and the claims that they may be deployed in this election. Have all those issues been resolved? What are the security arrangements?
Yes, with the security arrangement, the security regarding the presidential election is shown in the bosom of the Ghana Police. In fact, the only place they have requested for the intervention of the military will be the Boko Enclave, and it's for obvious reasons, security matters. We have intel that national security, some elements within the national security strongly affiliated to the NDC would want to deploy some unknown men, non-uniform men, to be part of our processes to some various voting centers to cause problems and give this whole exercise a bad name. We have alerted the Ghana Police that we do not want to condone any intrusion from such deployment. The only body mandated to handle the security of this electoral process is the Ghana Police, and that is it. We are not going to compromise on that. So we are telling anybody, if you have been deployed, if you are not a police person, if you are not under the instructions of Ghana Police, it means you are not part of this. And even the policemen, they are going to be well uniformed, their name tags will be seen clearly, identification public, and we know their command centers right from the national to the region to the various districts and constituencies. So we will have all the command centers. So once again, let me repeat, Ghana Police is the only body mandated to handle the security of the presidential primaries of the new patriotic party. Nobody is allowed to come close. We would not want to entertain any intrusion from anybody.
Well, tonight we will be delving into this allegation and also engaging the key parties involved. We've also heard from the NDC. They have categorically dismissed this allegation. We'll hear from them shortly. But thankfully, I have a member of the NDC election team right here in the studio, and the NPP election team right here in the studio, Evans Timakum. We appreciate your time here on Top Story. It's great to have you in the studio. Let's delve right into it. These allegations, what is the proof you have backing some of the strong claims you're making against the NDC?
Well, thank you for having me. And I must say that the New Patriotic Party has done everything possible to ensure that we will conduct a very peaceful, transparent, credible presidential primaries. We've engaged with key stakeholders, the Electoral Commission, Ghana Police Service, the presidential candidate themselves, and even our national executives. The task given to the Presidential Elections Committee was to ensure that the party conduct a very peaceful exercise in order that we elect our presidential candidates. We have been very mindful of all issues, and so the committee took the decision that all issues that will bother on security will be in the hands of the Ghana Police Service. In our first engagement with the Ghana Police Service, chaired by the IGP himself, he had brought other security agencies as members of the Election Security Task Force. In all our engagements subsequently, the IGP made it clear to us that there is going to be Ghana Police Service manning all the 333 voting centers across the 276 constituencies. In our effort to ensure that we organize our internal election peacefully, the party had to sign peace pact with the presidential candidates. When this event was taking place, the IGP and his men were invited. In a statement by the IGP, he made it clear to the whole of Ghana and assured the New Patriotic Party that with the exception of Boko constituency, where military will be involved, all the other 332 polling stations will be manned by the Ghana Police Service. So we are not expecting to see any form of security apparatus at play in any of the voting centers.
But you are making strong allegations. You claim the NDC is recruiting thugs.
So from the position of the committee, security for this exercise is supposed to be handled by the Ghana Police Service. And mind you, security is always need to know. And so when my national organizer has spoken to you in this manner, the Ghana Police Service will be informed of the intel we've picked. Mind you, and he would have told you that the party has intelligence and security committee. And when we have picked some of these things, we don't leave them at our doorpost. we channel them to where it must go.
So you reported this to the police?
That's why the national organizer spoke to you, that these are the things we've picked, and it is for the police to intervene.
So you reported officially?
To ensure that the party's effort to elect peacefully our presidential candidate will not be thwarted by any individual or group of people.
But I'm quite interested in this intel because these are strong allegations. Have you officially at least reported to the police?
So the national organizer spoke to you and said that these are intels we've picked. And I'm saying any intel we pick gets to the doorstep of the Ghana Police Service.
So you've made an official report.
And we will not be taken aback by any event to keep our eyes off the prize. We've engaged so much with all stakeholders to ensure that we organize our presidential candidate elections. We will therefore not let this bit, and we know that in security issues, it must be handled by the Ghana Police Service. I expect that they will do the needful.
You have filed your official statement with the Ghana Police Service as a party.
I'm saying that, and the national organizer repeated it, that these issues have been reported to the police.
When?
I'm saying you heard him say that. I came for an engagement, and I'm here engaging with you to discuss more other important issues.
But we also want to know the date so that we can help track this, because you're making serious allegations.
So no problem.
You say that they've accused you've accused the NDC,
my lady,
of recruiting thugs. You also accused them of planning to use ambulances to transport weapons. And so we just wanted to know when you filed this complaint so that we can do a follow-up.
I think there's a reason why when you enter into your closet and you're about to sleep, you lock your door. There's a reason why. Isn't it? There should be a reason why. You don't want to leave your door ajar. Or so if you pick intel and if you inform the police, you expect the police to do the needful. And I'm saying that until today that this issue came up, you wouldn't know other issues that we've reported to the police. So I expect that the police will do what is necessary. Aside that, the police has given us enough assurances that they will make sure that they provide enough security in all voting centers. Said that nobody can, through his action or inaction, cause the parties any challenge.
Okay, stay with me, Evans, because there's a lot to talk about, especially with preparations ahead of tomorrow's primaries. But let's listen to the NDC. We spoke to Mustafa Gbande, he's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, dismissing these claims.
Look, some of their flag bearers in this contest are notorious of this fact. That when it comes to their past records will tell you that they drink and enjoy violence. Now, for you to come and sit on TV, allege that government is seeking to deploy national security, and when you are asked of particulars, you are pontificating and saying that investigations are done in camera. I think Mohammed should go and say this to the Marines. Let me dismiss their allegation, reaffirm that the police, who they have contacted, who they are working with to protect them in their election, is the same police that protected all of us in all the by-elections we have had, including the December election. They should stay national security out of their confusion, stay clean, and focus on their election. I think the election is so important. I have to say that they are looking for ways to draw in government. Nobody has time for the NPP. Their entire party and the exercise they are going to do tomorrow is of no benefit and of no importance to this country. These are the very people who came together to milk and defraud this country.
Allegedly.
These are the very people who, in our minds, are very clear of the kind of pain they've caused the people of Ghana. Unremorsefully, they are going to gather to
the NDC Deputy General Secretary responding to the NPP's claims. Thankfully, I still have Evans with me in the studio, and we just have some statement from Kennedy Japon's camp that is coming through right here on Top Story. Let me just walk you through some of the key things in the statement. It says that intelligence gathered from our team on the ground indicates that the Electoral Commission has insufficient vehicles to transport ballot papers to all 276 constituencies nationwide. As a result, the EC is deploying private vehicles approved with EC stickers and accompanied by EC officials under the escort of the Ghana Police Service. However, there have been isolated cases spotted in the Ashanti, Western and Greater Accra regions where some ballot papers are being transferred without approved vehicles. We call for extreme vigilance from the Ghana Police Service, the Electoral Commission, and we ask that the right measures be put in place to ensure election is free and fair. Our attention has also been drawn to old videos from the 2023 presidential primaries that could cause disaffection towards any candidates circulating on social media. We strongly guard against any intimidation tactics and urge all stakeholders to refrain from circulating such videos. This is an internal contest of democracy within the NPP. Delegates must be free to choose preferred candidates without any form of interference. Our intelligence guarded remains active on the ground. We assure the general public of our commitment to a free, fair and transparent election process, and that is signed by Palgrave Dankwa, and he is spokesperson for security and intelligence in Ken's camp. Well, that's the statement just coming in right here on Top Story from the camp of Kennedy Japo. I still have Evans with me. Let's delve into preparations ahead of tomorrow. We're just hearing from Ken that indeed there are issues with transporting ballot papers. Has that concern been brought to your attention?
Well, thank you. I must say that this whole issue about the dispatch of electoral materials has been the responsibility of the Electoral Commission. And before the dispatch was done, they had to do the printing of the ballot. In the course of the printing, all the presidential candidates had their agents, 2 of them accredited to be at the printing houses. And when these were done, they were dispatched to regional centers, still under the control and management of the Electoral Commission. And so when the materials had gotten to the regional centers, it was for EC district officers to come over and pick them to their districts. I'm yet to hear from the EC in any of the districts where they have had to use private vehicles. And as we speak, I'm not aware of any. But I was briefed very well by the EC through their notification that distribution of materials from the regional level took place 28th and 29th. 28th and 29th. So as we speak, in all the constituencies, materials have been lodged with the police service. So I would not say that the Palgraves and co are telling us something that is not true. I'm not in the position to say that, but I'll say that in all this is the EC that did the deployment. And for materials to move from Accra to the regional centers and to districts, all candidates were allowed to affix their seals in all the materials that were going. And it's not only the ballot papers. And if you know how these things are done, the EC generated what we call the ballot statistics for each of the voting centers. So we know for each voting center the number of people who are voting. And when these are done, ballots are printed. You know for each center the number of ballot papers that are going in terms of booklets, booklet of 10, 50, and 100. You know all of them. They are serial numbers. So it is for them to communicate from Accra to the district those materials that they are expected to see when the EC bring them to their district.
But I know you're working closely with the EC. Can you confirm if everything is set for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, from the EC, all materials have been lodged with the police service to be used tomorrow. So I'll be surprised to hear at this stage that some materials are still being cut by private vehicles, and I expect that they will give us details as in which of the districts were dispatching their materials with private vehicles and all that.
So officially, Ken's team hasn't even reached out to the party to raise his concern.
If there's any concern to emanate from any of the presidential candidates, it comes to the Presidential Elections Committee. And in all this, we've engaged with all of them. We've had what we call the internal IPAC, where all the presidential candidates at a point will come by themselves or they will be represented by their agents. And we've built consensus all through our meetings with the police, meetings with the Electoral Commission individual, and meeting with all of them together in terms of Presidential Elections Committee, with Electoral Commission, with the police service and the agents. We've done this together, and this is the reason why the presidential candidate individually have come out to praise and commend the Joe Osei-Usu committee for work done so far. And we think that hopefully tomorrow we will crown this exercise with victory coming to the new Patriotic Party.
Another stretch would be the collation of results, because that's where we see a lot of chaos in different elections. Briefly tell us if you have all in place to ensure that the process for the collation of results are smooth.
Okay, so this is going to happen for each of the voting centers when polls come to an end at 2 p.m. The EC will do the counting and assign ballot obtained by the candidates and issue out to agents of the candidates their copies of the pink sheets, so that each of the candidate agents will be given a copy of the results that will be announced at the polling station, and that will be at the constituency level. From all the constituency voting centers, the arrangement is that the results will go to the EC Regional Collation Center. And at the EC's Regional Collation Center, the presidential candidates have been accredited agents who will ensure that the results coming from the polling stations are the right results to be collated. From the Regional Collation Center, the EC will forward the results to the National Collation Center, which is at the EC's office. And when the EC is done with the collation at the National Center, its office, to proceed to come to the party headquarters at Asalam now to give us the final declaration. So issue about collation is supposed to be done at the regional centers and finally at the National Center. We expect that those accredited agents of the presidential candidates will be there to observe things as they will be informed by their agents at the constituency level. Yes, in the national elections, you realize that there have been a lot of challenges at collation center because results are coming from too many polling stations to that collation center. But in this case, it is results from that polling station that will move from that polling station to the regional collation center.
Okay.
And if you have a Hafo region that has how many constituents? 6, and you have 7 voting centers, results coming from 7, I don't think it's going to create any problem. And all the candidates know how this is going to be done.
Evan, stay with me. I'll come back to you. Let me bring in Fred Tete. He's Deputy Director of Research, Monitoring and Evaluation at the EC. We appreciate your time here on Top Story. We're just hearing some allegation from Kennedy Japan's camp that you're using private vehicles to cart some of the ballot papers to the various centers. Can you confirm this for me?
Thank you very much. The first question when I saw the press release was to ask the question as to, when you talk of Ashanti region is big. Greater Accra is big. Western region, which specific constituency or districts was this thing seen? So basically, when you look at the press statement, we decided to do our checks. And from the information from the Western region, we don't contain ballot papers in private vehicles. From Western region, the information I had was that they moved the ballot from the Rapid Deployment Force Command Armory. And this was done on Wednesday at 10 a.m. From there, they have to move the ballots in the official vehicles of the district officers to their various districts. Ashanti region, ballot papers were moved from the regional police command to the regional office of the Electoral Commission. It was at the regional office of the Electoral Commission that the distributions were done. In the vehicles of the Electoral Commission. These are official pickups of the Electoral Commission. Districts like Dumasi had no vehicle. So what was done was to use the district police command vehicles to move the ballot from Kumasi to Dumasi. Offensive North has no vehicle. So Offensive North ballot papers was conveyed in the vehicle of Offensive South. These are official vehicles. And in each of the cases that are enumerated, all of them had police escorts. Now we come to Greater Accra. Greater Accra, the only district I'm told that has no vehicle and therefore was supported was Ayawasu West. And Ayawasu West, because they don't have an official vehicle, they were supported or helped in conveying the ballot by Ayawasu North. So I don't know where this allegation is coming from. We don't move sensitive materials like ballot papers and registers or albums in private vehicles. No, not at all.
So you can confirm that all the ballot papers have reached their destination as we speak?
They've reached their destination as far back as Wednesday. And under no circumstance was any of the districts conveying the ballot papers in a private vehicle. We don't do that. We don't allow that.
So we should treat this with the contempt it deserves?
Please. There's no iota of truth in what has been being circulated. That's what I can say for now.
So we can confirm that all is set for the primaries tomorrow?
All is set for tomorrow. Everything is ready. All the officials are ready. And as I've been saying, the commission will deliver a professional job tomorrow. We will go into the elections, treat everything fairly, undertake our responsibilities in light of integrity and in a transparent manner.
Thank you so much, Fretidi, for your time here on Top Stories. Deputy Director of Research Monitoring Evaluation Department at the Electoral Commission. I still have with me Evans Nimakun here, and we're just hearing from the EC dismissal the allegations that Kennedy Japan made. Internally, I'm just looking at security arrangements, especially because you've raised concerns about the modus operandi of the national security, the allegations you're making. And so how do you plan to ensure security internally tomorrow?
Also, we are in the hands of the Ghana Police Service. We are counting on the enormous assurances given to us by IGP, Mr. Yohunu. Our conversation with the party rank and file is that we respect the rules of engagement. I think what is very interesting is that even when the Presidential Elections Committee communicated our guidelines to the Ghana Police Service, we have said that no officer of the party will be involved in any way in the conduct of the exercise. The police still invited constituency executives, regional executives to discuss with them the operational plan that the committee has given to them, that their actions on tomorrow will be based on the operational plan we have given them. And this is how they are going to execute their operations, in which case no officer will be involved. And so the police are giving us enough assurance. They've engaged our people downstream. And this is a walking voting exercise. We expect that when delegates have reached the voting area and they've been screened and they've gone through and finished voting, they will leave until the polls come to an end, where the EC will begin the counting process that they will be open to the public for viewing. Even in that case, we expect that our people will respect the police security arrangement that they will put in place. And I'm saying once again that on 22nd of this month at Alisa, the IGP assured the party that they have enough men and women in uniform to help the party organize peaceful and transparent presidential primaries, and we are sticking to that. We are only cautioning people who will want to use this opportunity to conduct themselves in a manner that is unacceptable. When that happens, the police have the party's full support to deal with that individual or group of people in a way that the law prescribes. But because we know that we are going to comply with the directives given, and we respect the IGP and his team to deliver a good work for us.
But then, just before I let you go, how will the final declaration be? Will it be done at where exactly? Tell us so that we can look forward to it.
So with our conversation with the Electoral Commission, when they are done with the collation at their headquarters, they will move to the party's headquarters at Asylum Down to do the final declaration. And at that point, all the presidential candidates will be assembled there. In fact, before they will come, their agents at the National Collation Center will be giving copies of the final results, and so they will all know before the EC move to the party headquarters to do the final declaration. We expect that at the end of the day, victory will be that of the New Patriotic Party. Will come together as a party with one destiny, unity, to pursue the 2028 elections, and victory will be ours.
Thank you so much, Evans, for your time
grateful.
here on Top Story. And that's how I wrap up Top Story. For more news, please log on to my journal.com. My name is Fostina Sarfo.